No thing.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and run it. Here we go. All right, peace to the family. All right, so we're gonna get right away started, man. This is gonna be Corey and I know. Happy birthday to CJ. I know his birthday today, so he's gonna.
Happy birthday, CJ.
So he gonna be kind of doing his thing tonight. You know what I'm saying? So and then I know Barry I think Barry is out of town or something like that as well. So we'll send shout out to Barry B. But we're gonna go ahead and get it started, man. We're gonna still give y'all a little quick show. I know we've been absent the last couple of weeks. It's been hectic. I've been out and about, so let's go ahead and get it started. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started with the intros right here. My name is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210. It's at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. Also, you go to the YouTube at Billionaire Loan Officer as well. If you're trying to apply for a mortgage, go to www.applywithb.com. Also, you can book me for a consultation. Just click on the calendar link at the top. Also, you can call me 24/7, 832-775-8357. Call me 24/7. Also, if you're trying to lease, you're trying to list, you're trying to finance as well, you can go to my website, www.brandonbdixon.com. Don't forget, I'm a licensed real estate agent as well. And last but not least, go to my website, cocinvestmentclubs.com. If you're trying to mitigate your risk, we have an investment club that we invest in real estate, commercial real estate, residential, townhouses, whatever. We got it. So come on through. Corey, I got you queued up. So
queued up. All right, Corey Smith, broker owner of Commodore Mortgage, here for all your mortgage needs.
Cool. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Cool. So let's get it started, man. We're not gonna waste no time. Man, I had somebody. The premise, the backstory to this game is that I'm into not only real estate, but I'm just now found an affinity. Well, the last couple of years for the exotic dog breeding game.
Okay.
So and I've been kind of studying this pets period, like the last few years, and I kind of started it with the merch. I wasn't going to be a breeder, but I kind of started with the merchandise, and I'm going to do everything else.
Okay.
Because I looked at PetSmart and Chewy and all them, those big pets. All they do is sell accessories, and they're multi-billion-dollar a year organizations. So I was like, man, I just come up with my own label merch, and I can outsource it, and just come build up the label. I just need a percentage of the market share.
Correct.
So that was kind of my game plan on it. But just messing with it, I started messing with some of the different owning one and just starting owning exotics. So like, man, I hopped into the breeding game. So long story short, I recently got some of my mentees involved that happened to be on the West Coast when I was trying to actually pick up a dog on the West Coast, but he owns a roofing company. So he's trying to get into trying to learn, because there's a lot of stuff to learn. I'm a research nut, so I sit down and research. If I'm not looking at real estate, I'm looking at dogs.
Right.
If I'm not looking at dogs, I'm studying something else. You know what I'm saying? That's me. I'm constantly learning. But he made the statement like, well, this is kind of I just want to invest. It's kind of a side hustle. You really can't serve two masters. So so I'm like, I don't know about that. I think times has changed. I think back in the days, yes, you could have one thing, and that was sufficient enough to make a decent living. and you didn't have to worry about nothing else. You could be the best at that, and that
Correct.
was it. I think it's changed. That's the debate today. Is like, not really the debate. That's the discussion today. Is that, is it enough to master one thing, or do you have to have and buy and purchase multiple businesses? You know?
Multiple business. There's got to be multiple.
So
these days, it's so easy to do it.
Right. So, and that's kind of what we're gonna react to today. Is like, you know, some people say like, "Hey man, you jack of all trades, master of none." You know, but I beg to differ. I don't want to chime in before. Let's watch some of the clips, and then we'll have more of a discussion. Let's go.
Hold on for you. Hold on before you go to the clip, B. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it was a bunch of nuggets that you just dropped right.
Right. Go ahead.
I want to go back to. All right. So the first thing is this: is that if you're interested in something, you have to become a fanatic. The same way that you was interested in doing dogs, you have to become a fanatic where you're actually a student of the actual field, whatever field that you want to go into. If it's tattooing, if it's, you know, whatever the case may be, I think you have to become a student of the game to understand it so that you can be successful in it. Right. So I think, you know what I'm saying, it's a great thing that you actually, you know what I'm saying, you know, you get into the dogs, you know what I'm saying? So you're watching videos, you're researching, you're doing all this other stuff to make sure that you're successful. I think that's a great nugget that people need to understand, because a lot of people just want to jump in and make it easy. Like, hey, look, just because I jump it in, I'm interested in it, that's going to make me successful, and it's not necessarily going to do that.
Right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is that you got to have multiple hustles these days.
Right.
Online business, side hustle, whatever the case may be, because time has proven through our parents and the baby boomer generation, when you rely and you're loyal to an employer, they're not necessarily loyal to you at the end.
Right.
So I think, you know what I'm saying, if there's anything to be learned, we need to actually have multiple hustles so that when one stream of income goes down, then we have another.
Right.
The other thing is this, is that, you know what I'm saying, the last nugget that you dropped is that we don't have to be professionals and experts in every single field. Most millionaires would hire some people that are smarter than them in order to help make them successful in the actual business. So as you choose to kind of diversify your stream of income, I think the best thing is finding the right team to help make you successful. But you got to have multiple streams of income. That's, these days, is not even a question.
Right, not even a given. But you know, so many people just kind of get stuck in, hey, this is what I do, that's it. You know, and then like I said, they don't think outside the box.
Absolutely.
And then I like, you know, just to reiterate what you're saying, like, and this happened in the dog business. Most people just, all right, they try to buy their way and think buying their way is going to equal success. Just because you got a bunch of money to buy a bunch of dogs, that don't give you if you don't know what you're doing. I've heard all the horror stories where they lost the whole litters, and you know, they bought the wrong dog, the wrong bloodline, and they weren't nothing. You got bamboozled, you got scammed. You know, that's because you don't know what you don't know.
Correct.
You know, so you can't fake research. So, you know,
you can't.
And I think when you research, you put, you know, and I get this from an old mentor. This was before my mentor, Mattress Mac. This was my first job. You know, my first job coming out of college was at Aaron Sales and Leasing. So I was a general manager there. And I learned from another general manager when I was training. He like, man, when you first get into a store, you want to pour yourself into it. You want to pour anything you get, you want to pour yourself into. You know, so, and I took that as a 21-year-old, and I've, you know, run it 25 years plus. So everything I get into, I pour myself into.
Absolutely.
You know, so like, you know, and is it a myth that your cup only has so much to give? I think that's a myth. You know, you can pour yourself into more than one thing. You know,
absolutely.
And I don't want to make this a sermon. I want to kind of give little bits and pieces of people. You know, but I was gonna say this is that I think that if it has a synergy, you can do it. If you got two totally opposite things, you can't do everything. But let's get into this. Let's get into this. This clips. Let's get into the first one real quick. All right, let's run this one first, and then can you see it?
Yep, I can't hear it though.
No such thing as job security. MBA students are turning down six-figure jobs to buy businesses from retiring boomers. because they realize that the way to become financially free is to own your own business and have cash flow. So if you ever thought about buying a business, then you can find hundreds of thousands of businesses for sale on Buy Biz Sell. Then you can find need-based businesses like coin laundromats that can start cash flowing immediately. And here are just 4 for under $200,000. And your credit is going to be one of the most important factors when it comes to buying that business, because you're going to need that to get the loan and to get the money to retool that laundromat. 6 items deleted for this client, and they're now up 130 points. So if you're ready to buy your next business or start your next business, then comment ready on this post so I can get you in the 700 club.
Man,
Middle class is starting to wake.
Man, I absolutely love that. Absolutely.
Right.
That's one of the things that a lot of people don't necessarily talk about as being a nugget or a road to becoming a millionaire is buying up businesses.
Right.
When you talk about now, you're running into a lot of the baby boomers that are not necessarily technology savvy.
Right.
So here it is, you know what I'm saying? Instead of you actually going and paying all this money for a college, you know what I'm saying, which if you know what you want, you know what you want to do, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with college. But if you don't know what you want to do, take the time to actually understand the business, purchase a business that's already cash flowing, and then let that be your road to millionaire.
Right. Don't try to. A lot of people try to do everything from scratch, especially in our community.
They do, and you don't have to. If the infrastructure is already there, you're taking a business and you're buying a business from a baby boomer that has no idea about technology.
Right.
If you actually buy that business that's already cash flowing, you're making money from day one. You're not starting from scratch. You're making money from day one. All you have to do is step in as a new millennial and actually increase the technology. The website, if they have a website, it's probably, non-existent. It's probably some GoDaddy free template that they have, whatever the case may be. Social media is a big thing. If you come in and implement those 2 things, you can automatically take that business to another stratosphere.
Right. And that's another thing. We buy houses out there, we buy used houses, but nobody really in our community talks about buying businesses. So that's the thing. And why try to reinvent the wheel? I think as well in our community, we try to do something that nobody else is doing. Everything we try to do is exclusive. And then if we don't have no competition, if there's competition, we shy away from competition.
Yeah.
And you try to find that unicorn at that point. Everything you do, especially nowadays with the social media age, if you run it and make some money, you're gonna have competition easily. They're gonna copycat what you're doing. So you got to do it the best, the bigger, the biggest, the best. Yeah. This I don't get it, because I'll give you an example. We'll invest in cannabis, marijuana, and they got a million cannabis dealers. We ain't scared of that
at all.
But we scared to invest in businesses. Oh, well, they got a lot of cleaners. They got a lot of this. They got a lot of that. That don't mean you can't make no money.
It doesn't mean that. It's a lot of business out there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, B, is both in mortgage. You know what I'm saying? We can't handle all the clients that's out there.
Exactly.
There's thousands of actual mortgage brokers and loan officers or whatever the case may be. There's enough business for everybody. You can make good money. The other business that's popping or whatever the case may be could be on the south side. Maybe there's nothing on the north side. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's nothing on the west side or the east side or whatever the case may be. But a lot of times it's a mindset thing. We defeat ourselves before we even had a chance to put ourselves in the game.
Right. Well, I give you an example. Look at my mentor, Mattress Mac.
Yep.
There's in fact, in Houston, they started, this was 10 years ago. This is a fact. There's probably even more now. There's 3,500 furniture stores in Houston.
Yep.
3,500. The reason why Mattress Mac is making $100,000, 6 figures on a Wednesday a day. Sometimes he makes $1 million in a day on a weekend, is because he mastered that aspect. He mastered the delivery, the same day delivery. When everybody else, you had to order and you had to wait 2 months to come from China. He figured a system out where you can get it today in your house, and you look at it, and it'll be in your house in about 2 hours.
Yep.
And so he mastered that system and mastered it to where he outpaced the competition. Mm-hmm. So if he would have said, "Man, look, I'm not getting into furniture because they got so much competition," he never would be a billionaire right now. So you don't have to be the only one in that space. You just have to do it bigger, better than everybody else. And you can't be scared of that competition. And that's a lot of time that's plaguing our community.
And a lot of people think, you know what I'm saying, it's just they just kind of focus on the business aspect of it, and that is important. Don't get me wrong, that is important.
Right.
But a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, when you go into business, you're in a people service business.
Right.
And a lot of people these days want instant gratification. I want it fast. How
Right.
fast could you get it? I'll pay you $500 more, you know what I'm saying, because this other cat said it's going to take him 3 weeks to get me that furniture.
Right.
You can get it to me on this Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? So like, okay, cool. I'll pay that because I got a party I'm planning this weekend. I need that furniture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anytime you master understanding what people want and actually being able to serve people, you can end up like a successful business like Mattress Mac and a lot of other businesses we have around here in the U.S.
Well, that was his thing. You figure out a pain point. You figure out a pain point, you figure out a solution to a pain point, and you could make millions. And the pain point was people would buy furniture, and then it'll take 2 months to come in, 8 weeks to come in, and then when it comes in, it's destroyed. So you waited all this time, they unbox it in your house, and it looked like Godzilla that stepped on it.
Correct. and not only that, you know what I'm saying, it looked like Godzilla done stepped on it. Now you got to call a business back, and they give you the runaround.
Right, and
they give you a runaround by trying to make it right.
Right. So that was the biggest pain point. So solving that, what he did was, all right, instead of outsourcing it to China, I'm gonna go look at for these independent Amish and different furniture makers locally and buy from them. And then I'm gonna sell you what you see. It's called SWAT. Sell what's available today. I'm not gonna sell from a book. Hey, I got one left for this sofa. This is the one you're gonna get. You want it?
Correct.
You know,
correct.
And then, this is the one we're gonna take it off the floor, wrap it up, and put it on a truck and drop it off at your house.
And most people gonna be like, "Yeah, go ahead, give me that. I don't care how many asses done sat on that couch.
Right.
I need it by this weekend.
I need it by, and that's he ran with that. It's because people they buy for a few different. We used to have this all the time in the salesman. People buy for divorce. They buy because mom and them about to move in. They buy because they about to downsize. They buy for a reason. So you got to find out what's the reason, what's the motivation.
And not only when you talk about speed, the being able to get it in there. Hey, look, we got you on finance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to have a whole $3 or $4 grand a day.
Right.
We got great terms. You know what I'm saying? We can get you in there, get you finance, get that stuff to you here in the next couple of days. You know what I'm saying? And then truck on. That's what people want.
Right.
It's that instant gratification generation now, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you can figure that part out as far as logistics of it and getting people stuff fast and doing stuff fast, you got the game beat.
Right. Well, I'm going to say this and let's go to the next clip. The reason why Mattress Mac was so successful is because he studied every little nook and cranny of the business.
He was a student of the game.
That's and he tried to make each little nook and cranny better. And what he did is he implemented what's called landmark. What do you call it? Landmark. What was the term? Landmark company policies. And I'll give you an example of one. So the big pain point, like I said, is these Chinese folks, they buy from China, and you get it in your house, and it's destroyed. They don't unbox it till they get to the house, so they can say it's new. But Mattress Mac do now. We're gonna open everything.
Yep.
We're gonna open everything, and then if it is destroyed, we're gonna fix it. We got a little furniture dude in the back. He gonna sew it up.
He gonna hook it up.
Yeah, he gonna sew it up. He gonna stitch it up. He gonna you got that wood making, and you can't even tell. So I'm gonna blanket wrap. I'm gonna shrink wrap it, blanket wrap, and then shrink wrap it again.
Yep.
Absolutely. So that way, when it's sliding the house, you don't get caught on the stairs, and it's all slick. So when I unwrap it, I already know what it looked like.
Yes.
You already inspected it. Absolutely. So when it gets to your house, it's just like unwrapping a brand new gift. Boom, it's already unwrapped. The customer can't tell if it's unboxed or it's new or old. They don't know.
Here's the thing that I like about that strategy is the fact that, it's no secret that Mattress Mac and the furniture over there, Gallery Furniture, is not necessarily the cheapest.
Right.
But you get what you pay for.
Right.
You're saying for the money that you're paying, you're getting that type of service.
Right.
They're going to make sure that, it's ready to be used once it comes into your house. Right. It's not, it gets into your house. Now we spend 2 or 3 weeks for, the company try to make it right because they got it cheap over there in China. they're losing money if they got to come back and get it, or
Right.
whatever the case may be. If they got to
Right.
send movers back out there to come and get it,
Right.
they're losing money. So that little bit of extra absolutely helps for the
Right.
peace of mind knowing that you ain't got to deal with that.
Right. And then cheap furniture, it has the most problems, you know. So all
Absolutely.
all that stuff. So let's go ahead to the next clip. Don't forget, man, if y'all y'all watching, man, don't forget to comment, stuff like that. Let's go to the next clip, and then we're gonna read the comments here in a second. So let's see. Let's go to this next one. Bam. All right, let's roll it.
Guys, we just closed on this business. It's a car wash. And the rule of thumb when you buy a business, the rule of thumb is to keep everything the same. Come check it out. Is to keep everything the same for the first 30 days. You don't want to touch a thing for the first 30 days. And you want to basically see how the business runs and then slowly tweak and tweak and tweak when necessary. You're going to plug holes when necessary. So right now, if you look around, the place needs work. Everyone knows that, right? But it's printing money the way it is. So we're going to see what works. We're going to tweak, change. We have to change and keep a lot of the things the same. Guys, we just closed on this.
Bam. So I'll open that up to you to go ahead and comment on that.
Man, I think it's a beautiful thing because in order to come into a situation where, you know what I'm saying, the operation is already running, you have to understand the operation. You have to understand what people like, what people don't like. You have to understand the full scope of everything before you start making changes. You coming in may see something different, but then if you come into the actual business, you own the business at that point, and customers are coming in, they absolutely love it. Why would you change it?
Right.
Because you're purchasing the business because it's cash flowing, because it's making money for you. So if people are liking that, we're taking complete egos, we're taking complete feelings out of it. It's the same thing as you going to purchase a house. Somebody absolutely loves purple walls, but you absolutely hate it. But if everybody else liked the purple walls, why would you mess with it? Right?
Right.
So essentially, I completely understand what he's saying. When you're actually coming into a business that's cash flowing, one, you want to let it do what it's do. You know what I'm saying? Because you're purchasing the business because it's cash flowing a certain amount of money. Let's get this money up. Let's let it run for 30 days. Let's become a student of that business.
Right.
Let's watch it, critique it, see what's going on. Talk to the workers because the workers is there all day.
Right.
Let's see what the workers feel. Let's see what the clientele feels. Then we start to slowly make changes. When people come in and they're expecting one thing and see something completely different when they work in, it could work for the best of the business or it could work for the worst. So then that's why you kind of slow roll those changes, which is 100% what he said. You slow roll those changes to understand, okay, well, look, we're not going to throw everything at everybody at once. We're just going to slowly make these progressions to where it becomes better. People start to like it. People start to get adjusted, and we can continue to make money, the same amount of money that we purchased the business at, or start to make more money.
Right. Well, that's one of the things that most humans, not all the humans, don't like is change, especially if you're on a worker level and a consumer. If you make too rapid a change, people are creatures of habit.
Correct.
So workers, they get in the groove, and so is customers. They're expecting even wait times. They expect a certain wait time, and they all have that on in their mind subconsciously. So you make too rapid a change, and especially with our community, what we want to do is if we do take over business, we want to put our flair on it.
Correct.
We want to change names. We want, we just want to do a whole overhaul, whole makeover. That's how you lose out, So it's like if you got something that's already working a location, especially if you're buying it from a boomer already, you make slower changes to keep the name, man. First of all, if you could get rich and nobody knows you did it right. So everybody, we want fame. We want to put our face on the front of the door. If it's already working, if I got Wendy already in the front of the door, I'm gonna keep Wendy on the front of the door.
Keep Wendy on it.
Keep Wendy on the front of the door. It ain't got to be Brandon's. You know what I'm saying? Wendy's been working for 50 years. So
correct. And that's what people like. That's what people like and know.
Right. So I ain't trying to I'm not in my ego. If it works, it works. And then I'm gonna just plug up the holes. I'm gonna just make little tweaks, like you said, to actually make the business better. I'm not gonna impede the cash flow. Get out of your own way.
Correct.
You know what I'm
saying?
And
then a lot of
go ahead.
of times, you know what I'm saying, as you say that, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, when you come in as a new owner, everybody's already, you know what I'm saying, have their guard up. Because they don't know what you, they don't know who you are, you know what I'm saying? They don't know your personality. They don't know what's going on. Are you going to fire them? Are you going to hire a whole new crowd, a whole new crew? I think those 30 days is used to just say, hey, look, man, we're not looking to change a whole bunch. Everything's going to maintain the same. We're just looking to better your situation, better the processes, and make everything smoother for everybody. And I think, you know what I'm saying, as you slowly progress, people can get adjusted as opposed to just dumping everything on everybody at once, whether that be workers or that be clientele. But once you come in and people start to get the feel for your personality, I think that wall starts to go down. Change is a lot more acceptable from the worker standpoint versus you just coming in and being like, man, we scrapping all this shit. We changing everything. You know what I'm saying?
You know better than the workers that have been working there for all these years. And they have the nuggets and they know there's a reason, there's a method behind the madness sometimes.
Absolutely. And then you know what I'm saying, when people get uncertain about a situation, when you come in and you start throwing in a whole bunch of changes, guess what they're gonna do? Man, I'm looking for another job.
This is a fact.
All time, I'm trying to find something else.
I got a story to that. I'm gonna tell you this in a second. Let me read a couple of comments here. TJ, what's going on? So TJ said, how much will rent be in 10 years? I'm 26. I'm making $60K a year right now as an HVAC technician. Shoot, 10 years from now, this depends on this outcome of this election, man. It could go probably right now. You could get in Houston, you know, in the market that I'm at, you know, which is kind of like in the middle. It's not really high, it's not really low.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
A one bedroom gonna be $1,200 to $1,500, you know, in a decent neighborhood. You know, can you find stuff for under $1,000? Yes, but it might be questionable. You know, but $1,200 to $1,500 is a good, decent neighborhood with solid schools and stuff like that for a one bedroom. So 10 years from now, I would say probably going to be $2,500 to $3,000 for a one bedroom house. I mean, one bedroom apartment. That's what I'm thinking. So if you look at that, if it's $3,000 a month, you're looking at $36,000 just in rent.
Yes,
just in rent. Also, he said I'm going to start my own HVAC business. I want to use the money from my business to invest in real estate. Absolutely. What you do is you take that, you work. This is what my mentor, Mattress Mac, always used to say. He said, late to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and advertise. So you want to take the money that you're making and put it to safe stuff. And that way, you know, if I get these rental houses, I get these investment properties that I don't have to work as hard, meaning that, all right, I got 1,000 here, 1,000 there, that pays something. That alleviates me at the gas pump. That alleviates me as far as business expenses. So, you know, a lot of people want to invest back in the business. You know, a lot of times that's good, but as well, you need to invest sometimes outside the business just to alleviate some of your expenses and something that's guaranteed. And that's always a sure shot at real estate. You know, so yeah. And then what I'm gonna tell you this as well. We're gonna get to this in a second. This was the same thing I did. I when I first got out of college, when I was 21, I started off at a general manager at Aaron's. I was making, you know, base salary about $60. That was $60K. That's bad, bro. I was making $60K in late 90s, bro. You know what I'm saying? But with the bonuses, I was making about 80. So that was back then. So that go to show you, like, so my first job, I was making $60K salary. But I had one of the biggest stores in Louisiana.
Let me add
this to finish up. I learned at Aaron's. I worked there for 5 years, and learning how to run big volume stores. And I opened my own store. I opened my own video store. So what you do is you learn and earn. You learn whatever you can the business, and then start your own. So you're right on point. Go ahead.
So here's the thing that I would add, you know what I'm saying, to change along the lines of the videos that we was looking at, TJ. This is what I would say. You're in an HVAC business right now that's probably a big business or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? They have certain infrastructures in place. Feel free to talk to your manager and ask them different questions. Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Why did y'all choose to do this? Why are y'all doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is this policy in place? This is the time right now where you're trying to educate yourself on how to run a business, why the business owners are making the decisions that they are making. I don't know how big your company is, but if your company is big enough, sit down and talk to the actual owner and say, hey, look, I inspire one day to have my own company. You know what I'm saying? And ask him those questions. I promise you he's going to take you under his wing and say, okay, well, look, I answer any question. Look, we go to lunch. I'll give you all the nuggets. I'll tell you everything, whatever the case may be. That's the first thing. The second thing is this, is that I would open up your mind to say, okay, look, eventually you want to get to the point where you start your own business. I was just looking, and I've seen AC businesses for sale.
Right.
Imagine if, you know what I'm saying, instead of you starting from scratch, you can purchase an AC business and you've gained so much knowledge, you have a leg up over a bunch of other people because you can automatically come in, look at that business and say, okay, well, look, y'all doing this, this, and this wrong. Or you could be doing this to increase the cash flow on the actual business.
Right.
You have that specific knowledge that a lot of normal people don't have. You can step in and say, okay, well, look, if I purchase this business that's automatically cash flowing $200,000 a year, I'm stepping in as the owner to manage people. And then, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to make these tweaks to take that $200,000 a year to $400,000 a year. Right. And guess what that does? That takes you out of the scope from actually climbing in attics or looking at condensers yourself. The money that you're making, that $400,000, $200,000, $300,000, whatever the case may be, you have all the time in the world to take that and invest that in real estate. It all boils down to leverage. You got to have leverage. You can't trade time for dollars. If you get to the point where you own the business, you have other AC techs that's actually going out there climbing in attics, working on condensers or whatever the case may be. You as the owner just have to make sure they don't fuck it up. Right. And as long as you can do that, you have free time to go invest in real estate. You can go flip houses. You can go get rental properties, fix them up, whatever the case may be. You can either choose to go build houses. But now you're making money so that if something happens to that house, it's not just soul blood. It's not, okay, well, look, I got to go grind. I got to go get 30 more houses because this investment is not going the way I thought it would go. Right. It's all about leveraging time. So, you know what I'm saying? Just tweak that mind a little bit. It's great that you want to start your business. It's great that you want to be your own boss, but get that education and look at trying to purchase a business.
Right. And I just want to nail that point home, how our community especially has a different mind frame. We so wrapped up and want to put our name on it, like, all right, TJ's HVAC. I don't give a damn if it say ABC, EFG.
Correct.
If it's already cash flowing, you already got the actual brand built up. That's that's at least, I don't want to say half, that's 30%. That's 30% of the actual headache right there. Because don't forget, you building your brand from scratch. Nobody knows TJ. You know what I'm saying? Not saying putting it personal, but I'm talking about in general. You got to build your brand from scratch. Correct. So if somebody already got a brand and you could just pick it back off of that, and you take your expertise and you just tweak it and bring it up a notch, or bring it modern, or add your flavor to it slowly but surely, you can actually get in the driver's seat quicker.
Absolutely.
We just got to change our mentality. We want to do it the hard way. Like, we want to start off hard. I start and then I hire the person. I don't trust that person. Nah, we could go ahead and let's look at it different. I could go ahead and get my LLC. I could go ahead and get business line of credit, take that money and buy a business and already be cash flowing. Instead of trying to sit there and go one, I had to crawl up the attics and do it myself and try to hire somebody, duplicate me, that I get a business line of credit and go try to buy equipment and the uniforms.
Yep. Buy trucks. Buy trucks, get them wrapped
with the rails on it and blow the money. Yeah,
you don't have to do that.
Yeah, go ahead, get the business in the box already and keep rolling.
When you purchase the business, you're not only purchasing the business as a cash flow, but you're purchasing the infrastructure that comes along with it. You no longer have to worry about, well, who I'm going to get to do payroll, who I'm going to get to do my books, who I'm going to get to be HR, who I'm going to get to do this, that, and the third as I bring these people on. It's already done.
Right.
You just take those same people, you know what I'm saying, and then just kind of, if you want to change them, hey, look, I need you to do this here, you know what I'm saying, while I look for somebody else, or whatever the case may be. But it takes a lot of the headache away from you and a lot of time spent. it automatically exponentially, exponentially, you know what I'm saying, increase your success by tenfold. Now, don't get us wrong, TJ. We're not trying to talk you away from doing your own business and that type of thing.
Well, it is your own
I
business.
just want you to, but I just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just,
it's-
but you know what I'm saying? If you want to do TJ HVAC, you know what I'm saying? If you want to do that and try to grow it, we're not trying to talk you against it because there's been plenty of people that have done that.
Right.
But it's a thing that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people, it's a cliche, you work smarter, not harder.
Right.
If I don't have to go through the headache of doing all that and it's already done, and all I have to do is purchase this business, why wouldn't you do that?
Right. I mean, like I said, a lot of people want to rebuild it from scratch. Like it's some cornbread or something. Like I want to build, just from scratch is better. I'd rather take that out the box.
I want my name on it.
Yeah, I want my. Nah, you could always backdoor and do that. Once the money is made, but I want something that's already running. I did mine from scratch, but it's hard. It's hard to create that motion. That's a job within itself to create motion. It is. This is. You're gonna be spending most of your time trying to let people know who you are.
Yes, a lot of sleepless nights unnecessarily.
Right. So
trying to figure things out.
Yeah, that's true. I'm very patient on Rude Chris. I'm impatient fast food. Yeah, like most people have a time clock in their head as far as all right, I know I'm gonna be in here 5 minutes. They typically take 5 minutes. When you throw that rhythm off, you can lose customers.
Yeah.
So that's very true. Also, he said, thanks a lot, bro. I got a lot of questions about the industry, but not on the business side. I will not. Yes. Pick your boss brain, man. Pick the owner brain.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You got, and you can't do it like you try to start your own business. You got to do it like you just stroking his ego.
Yeah.
Then that's when you really get, oh man, how long you been in the business? What made you get in the business? You got to have a genuine curiosity, and that's how you get the most out of people.
And the other thing is, I would say, is make your intentions known up front, right? You know what I'm saying? Because when you start coming off asking questions, the first thing comes is a wall up. Man, why you asking all these questions? Like, what you trying to do? You trying to sue me or what? What's going on? But you know what I'm saying? The minute you say, hey man, you know what I'm saying, look, I strive one day to have my own business. I'm just trying to learn. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? Oh man, that wall goes down, and they'll tell you every damn thing they know. I can promise you that.
I don't know. You got to this depends. It depends on what type of boss you have. You got to watch that. So you got to I like to be a little bit more covert. Like, hey, I'm just genuine curiosity. Sometimes people don't want you to shine. So you start asking them, they're gonna leave a lot of stuff out or omit a lot of stuff or try to steer you wrong because they want you, especially if you're good as a worker, they want to keep you as a worker.
But you know who your boss is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you can kind of get a feel for, you know what I'm saying, if they're gonna be jealous of you leaving. Right. No, we want you to be a worker forever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know how to work the best, you know how to work the situation, yourself. But
it's easy to be innocent. Just be innocent with it. Like, hey man, just ask questions, and you kind of in the course of the conversation, and then if people's number one subject they like to talk about it themselves. Absolutely. So if you put it in a conversation where they just talk and you're gonna get, you filter out the lot, they just gonna be blah 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 blah, but you take the nuggets that you can, and then but a lot of people like to talk about themselves, but you got to get when they start talking about themselves, they feel good. But if you're going to question them like, all right, I'm writing this down, like I'm trying to leave, that's when the wall gonna come up too. Like, all right, man, you trying to leave me, bro? What's going, So I'm not gonna give you the whole game so you can be my competition.
If they're a real true boss, you know what I'm saying, they want to see you succeed. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of business out here for a lot of people, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you got a boss that necessarily understands that, and especially a boss that already has a successful business, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, man, you ain't no threat to me. You just not getting started, bro. By the time you actually really get going, I'm going to be out of here. You know what I'm saying? So
people do some strange stuff for change, bro. People do some strange for change, bro.
But look, you can't be, I put it this way, you know what I'm saying? Being optimistic about the situation, you can't be afraid to ask questions. Be forward about asking questions, you know what I'm saying? Just being curious, just let them know, you know what I'm saying? You're not looking to lead tomorrow, but you're looking to learn while you're here. And I'm looking to learn as much as possible. Albeit the if it's your manager, your manager's manager, or you know what I'm
Right.
saying, the actual boss, whatever the case may be.
Right. He said, yeah, he says a cool white guy, but the dude goes on 100 vacation. Yeah, I want that type of success. Yeah, man. I mean, once you get the financial freedom, you know, you can kind of do what you want.
Oh, if he going on 100 vacations a year, he ain't. I mean, shit. Look, pick his
Right.
brain. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. Look,
Right.
he'll let you know. Hey,
Right.
look, and then in some cases, not all, but in some cases, he'll be like, man, look, when you ready, let me know. I'll
Right.
do what I can to help you.
Right. Let's go to the next clip before it get too late. I got a couple of more to run, so let's run this next one real quick.
This is exactly why we built BizScout. It's because a lot of people have family businesses and their kids don't want to run them. So what do you do with your family business? You sell it. You make sure that all the work your parents put into it, or your grandparents, or your aunts and uncles actually gets recouped. The biggest problem with small businesses today is that they shut down instead of sell. You get to make sure your family has generational wealth, whether you want to run it or sell it. But every single day, thousands of small businesses around the country shut down for this exact reason. And it doesn't need to be this way. So we are solving this problem right now. On the internet, people every day will tell me, this never happens. Of course, there's no businesses to sell. Why wouldn't their kids want to take it over? Here's the truth. So if you have a family business you don't want to run, sell that baby at BizScout. This
100%. 100%.
Right.
Look, here's the thing is that, you know what I'm saying, the parents' passion is not necessarily the kid's passion.
Right. Fact.
But a lot of kids, you know what I'm saying, inherit a business. And I know, okay, so I just went through a situation similar to that, you know what I'm saying, where there was this older gentleman that dealing for years. He used to clean my father's carpet, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, I got to the point where I had him cleaning my carpet for investment properties, my house, whatever the case may be. Well, it got to the point where he actually passed away and the kids took over. Well, when the kids took over, their heart was not in the actual business. They tried to keep it afloat, but they couldn't keep it afloat because their heart wasn't into it. If their heart not into it, you're not returning phone calls.
Right.
You're doing the jobs half-assed. You don't necessarily have that integrity there. So, you know what I'm saying? It makes more sense that, hey, look, instead of me just letting this business drop, why don't I just take the actual clientele that's there, sell this business, and let somebody else that heart is into actual carpet cleaning actually take over this business.
Right.
And I can actually cash out 6 figures, 6, maybe even 7 figures, depending on how much the business is making.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't make sense with you as a millennial to say, okay, well, look, I don't really want to do this business, or this business is too hard. You know, I'm just going to let it go. Because truth be told, there's a lot of people that want to start on third base versus coming up to bat.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Give them that opportunity to do that. There's a lot of business brokers that actually you can sell these companies with. Like, you don't have to go out there and try to find a buyer yourself. You find a business broker and say, hey, look, I no longer want to deal with this business. Here's the numbers. See if you can find a buyer for it. I'll keep it afloat until you can find a buyer. But, you know what I'm saying, I know my heart's not into it. The numbers is going to drop. Let's try to sell it before the numbers drop.
Right.
And actually be able to make something from it and go invest in something that you're passionate about.
Right.
But don't just give it away.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Like, especially like the kids nowadays, you know, that was your dad's dream. You know, that was your mom's dream. Some of the, you know, the kids like to be, you know, contrarian, like something totally different.
Correct.
And what they'll do is they'll either, you know, they'll get it and then try to become an absentee owner.
Yes.
You know, and see, like, have it try to run itself. Or like another thing, even with Mattress Mac business, I think as soon as Mattress Mac kicked the bucket, I think James is going to sell. I know James. James is into something totally different. You know what I'm saying? James is kind of my age. You know what I mean? So James is into something totally different. So I think he's going to sell it, but that's smart. I brought this up because this plagues our community as well. It's ego. We want to keep Dixon on the last name. We want to keep Dixon on the door.
Yeah.
You know, we want to stay in control. It's a legacy. Nah, man, sell that thing and start another business with Dixon on it. That's something that you passionate about. Instead of being Dixon restaurant, being Dixon car parts. If you're in the car, or Dixon dogs or whatever.
Right.
Take that 6-figure money. I'll take that money because I was when I started my video store. I sold it. You know,
Mhm.
and I sold my store and I took it and ran it and put it into something else, you know, and kept
Yeah.
rolling. If you look at most of the entrepreneurs, you know, they sell, they're not one and done.
Yeah.
You know, I think Nintendo used to own hotels. You know, it's like I think the dude that wrote Star Trek or came up with the Star Trek used to be a cop.
Uh-huh.
You know, so it's like people go through various phases of life, and you're not one and done.
Correct.
So
You have options.
Yeah, you have options. So we got to get out that ego. Like, all right, I gotta. Same thing with the house. We one and done with the house. We want to keep this and think we're gonna get buried at this house.
Yeah.
We gotta expand. Like, all right, when you got a business, you lost a flat foot, sell it, get it, take that proceeds and get it to something else. Or if you got, you inherited the business from your mom and them, grandparents or something like that, you ain't into it, take that and sell it while it's hot, while it got motion, do something else.
Yes. And then here's the other thing too that a lot of people don't think. Well, one point. There's 2 points that I want to make. One point is this: is that a lot of people in our culture don't necessarily understand the selling of businesses. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of think the businesses are what they are. If my parents go away, you know what I'm saying, then the business actually dies. If I don't want to do anything with it, that's the first thing. You know what I'm saying? And then it needs to be more popular to understand that. You know what I'm saying? If I inherit a business, it doesn't make sense to let it go. Like, let me get this thing together, get the numbers together, and go ahead and sell this thing. The second thing is this, is that depending on the actual business, if you have a technician or you have a manager or whatever the case may be that's inside the business, why not talk to them about, hey, look, man, you know what I'm saying? I really don't want to have anything to do with this business.
Right.
You know the business is making money. We got leads coming in. We got jobs. What I would do is I would actually give up 30, 40, 50% of this business. You run it, just send me a check.
Right.
Because you know what I'm saying, essentially you're getting in on this business and the business is already running. You're already going to cash flow from day one. Just send me a check for my percentage, you know what I'm saying? And then you're automatically making a retirement check, essentially,
Right.
but you're giving it to somebody that's passionate about the business and going to keep the business going. They're serious about it because there's a benefit in it for them and there's a benefit in it for you. So, you know what I'm saying? But, a lot of people just don't think about that because ego's getting away.
Right.
You got to move that ego out the way, man.
Yeah, that's what plagues our community is the ego, man, the pride factor. It's good to have pride in your job. I mean, your business. Of course, that's your baby. It's been in the family for generations. Yeah. However, you could kill it. What would you rather? If you're not there and it dies under your watch, or would you rather somebody else take it and you could always write in the contract, don't change the name.
Absolutely.
So if that's important, you could always sell the name or lease the name or license the name to them.
Yeah. Especially if there's a sentimental value for it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, my dad worked his ass off for this business. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to let it go. You keep the name. Majority of the people, they're blessed by that opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to make that money. And then they're taking over a business that they probably would have never been able to have or don't have the guts to start on their own.
Well, it's all about the motion. Your family for generations created that motion. They're buying the motion from you. And they're cutting the line as opposed to as the same thing on the reverse side, as opposed to starting their motion from scratch. They're buying the motion from you, and they're going, they're hitting the ground running, and that motion is valuable. So people underestimate the power of motion. Motion is valuable. That's the whole key to this whole thing. If without motion, you're not gonna get any. You can't create a market for yourself. You got to have motion. Period. Let's go to this next one because I got like 2 or 3 more. Let's see. Yeah, let's see what I got here. And this is in no particular order. Bam.
Have to start a business, you can buy one. Here's the top 3 sites you can use to find them. If you're looking for an online business or e-commerce brand, Flippa is going to be the website for you. You can buy blogs, Shopify stores, Amazon stores, and even YouTube channels, some that are cash flowing and profitable that already come with vendors and inventory. The next site you're going to want to use is acquire.com. They also have online and e-commerce businesses as well. Last but not least is LoopNet. This is where you're going to find brick and mortar businesses. You can filter by various different industries to find the perfect business for you. Follow for more biz buying tips.
Right. So that was just a quick. I put that in there because I wanted people to expand their mind. Because we think just all right, it has to be a product or like a brick and mortar. You also can buy online businesses as well, and I would suggest that you have one of those in your portfolio. Because online businesses, you could do. I'm gonna play this next clip. If you just online, you could be anywhere in the world.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to, and it's a different type of motion. With online businesses, you're not necessarily tied to a community. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to, you don't have to have just a local flavor. It's a global thing. You know what I mean? So I would definitely suggest, if you don't already, do your online business like TJ. You're an HVAC person. I would definitely get like a website to where I just give AC advice or give AC tips or something like that, something in the HVAC, or even just a lead generation system where I generate leads for other people to get AC leads. Something in that wheelhouse where I can sit there and make money while I'm asleep. So
that's not only that. It appears to be, you know what I'm saying, YouTube is the newest thing, right? So you got plenty of jobs. You have, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 10 jobs that you do a day. Right. Why don't you take a couple of those jobs, just get you a nice little tripod or whatever the case may be, post that up as a video, whatever the case may be, and record what exactly you're doing. Okay, this is how I'm diagnosing this. This is what the client is saying. I watched several videos to fix my own AC, you know what I'm saying, as far as there are several videos as far as, you know what I'm saying, this is what the client is saying. This is how I'm diagnosing it. This is what happened. This is what it is. This is how you change it or whatever the case may be. You put that as a YouTube video, that's on the cloud forever. You get to the point where you can actually monetize your actual channel for HVAC, and you don't have to be the greatest. You don't have to be the greatest, kind of the person that talking or whatever the case may be. But when you got these how-tos that's on YouTube, eventually they get to the point where, you know what I'm saying, you're monetizing that. Those videos are on there forever. So you're going to continuously get a YouTube check. Even if you got $1,000 from YouTube a month, what can that do? You know what I'm saying? On top of whatever you're doing, and you're doing nothing. All you did was record a video. You put it on YouTube, cut it up, whatever the case may be. You can pay somebody or try to do it yourself, whatever the case may be. But once you put that up, that is an asset that's going to make you money every single month.
Right.
Absolutely every single month.
Yeah, we got to think more instead of analog, think digital.
Absolutely. Digital is the key. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to take away from what you're doing on a day-to-day basis.
It has a synergy.
But I'm saying eventually you're going to get to the point where you retire. And then when you retire, that video is still going to be, YouTube is going to be around forever. Right. So it's still going to be on YouTube. It's still going to generate you a check. And all you did was take 45 minutes to record what you're doing anyway. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of talking to the people and just kind of walking them through what you're doing.
Right.
So there's many ways to make money online, not just doing that.
Right. He said, man, I never thought about that. So blogging and YouTube. Yeah, man. Absolutely. I mean, that absolutely. You could have just on the nerd side, you could have, foot HVAC technicians. Hey, this is this model. This I did this model and stuff like that. So
correct.
When they type in that search, don't forget that Google and YouTube is the same company. So when people Google, how do I fix blah 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 blah,
your video pop
up.
Man, that's a check.
Every time they look at your video, that's money in your pocket.
The only thing you got to do is stay disciplined enough to do enough. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because in the beginning, you're not going to see it, but you continue to do it, you know what I'm saying, for a year, whatever the case may be. Just post videos, post how-tos and all this other stuff. Eventually, you're going to get to the point where you get a check, and that's going to be a check for life, period.
Right, you got recurring income, because they're making money off the advertisers. So
It's mailbox money. You know what I'm saying?
mailbox
It's something that you can continue to do your HVAC, even when you get to the point where you have your own business. It's an extra check.
money. Right,
Can you imagine a lot of people on Social Security right now aren't able to do anything?
right,
And then, you know what I'm saying, they're just getting Social Security,
right.
you know what I'm saying, which is about $1,000. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
If Social Security is around that time, so we got to make our own
If
Social Security.
So, you know what I'm saying? The thing is to think forward, you know what I'm saying, as far as how can I monetize what I'm doing on a daily basis?
Right.
And just record the video, putting on YouTube is absolutely, or blogging, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. You get some followers on blogging or whatever the case may
Right.
be. Eventually you get to a point where you're selling something on
Yeah.
HVAC.
How do
Whatever that may
I
be.
start my own HVAC business?
It's you know what I'm saying, you're
Right.
selling an online course or whatever the case
Exactly.
may be. How do I start my own HVAC company or whatever
Right.
the case may be? You know what I'm saying? There's ways to monetize what you do from 9 to 5. Period.
Right. People watch for stuff where they have a conclusion to it. Like, all right, I start off as hot. You know what I'm saying? If you're in HVAC, and then this is how I saw that now I'm blowing cold air.
Absolutely.
They'll sit there and wait
Absolutely.
for the conclusion. All right, is he gonna fix the problem? They'll sit there and
Absolutely.
watch that whole minute video, whatever.
I'm guilty of it. I'm YouTube
Right.
University. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If there's something that needs to be done around the house, I'm trying to see if there's a how-to on YouTube.
Right.
If your
exactly.
how-to is the only one on YouTube, yours is
You're
number
gonna
one
watch
that's gonna pop up. Come
Right.
on. They watching that. That's
Right.
views, which equals dollars.
Right, exactly. Let's run this next one real quick. This is the results of online business. I might be in that number here in a second. Let me go ahead and run this one.
This mansion costs us $1,000 a month, and y'all in America paying $1,500 two bands for a studio shithole. Y'all gotta realize, being raw. I'm tired of y'all people saying I'm downplaying my country. No, I'm not downplaying anything. It's just the fact of what it is. Why would I go to a place where I can't even afford to be in the hood where people are shooting at you? You feel me? It don't make sense. How are you gentrifying the hood, making it impossible to live in places that look 10 times worse than this and it costs 10 times more? It's just a simple concept of what makes more sense. That's all it is for me. I love my people. I love America. I love my family. I do not like being away from my family. But the thing is, as a person that has an online business, it does not financially make sense for me, especially at a starting point, to build in America, because there is no leverage for me to be there, except for the fact that the cost of living is higher. So if you are a person that really sees your future in the online space and you are worrying and having to deal with, okay, I have to go to work all the time, I don't have enough time to put into my business because I know it's going to take time for me to develop my skills and things like this, it's going to take time. I just have to make money now, though, because I'm in the system, I'm in America. If you're in that position, you need to get the fuck out of America and go explore another place that has a lower cost of living, especially if you're making any sort of income online. If you're making over $1,000 you can go to other countries. You can go to a place like Thailand and make money, sustain yourself here, and lock the fuck in. So if you want to learn how to do it and generate some income for yourself online, comment the word Discord, and I will send you this.
Right. So, bam. We got to look at that as well, man. If you can get a successful online business, we don't need to keep pace with the American system at all. You can live anywhere in the world and run your online business.
Absolutely.
You can reduce your fingerprint, your footprint. Instead of paying, like you said, $1,500 and you got a 1-bedroom studio, he's renting a mansion in Thailand for $1,000. You can get a nice luxury apartment for like $300 a month. So the cost of living is different. So why try to keep up with Atlanta or San Francisco or New York or LA when you could, you got the online business. If you build it up where you generating $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, you might want to look at reducing your expenses.
Absolutely.
So I'll just leave that like that though too. So yeah, it's not only just multi businesses, but a strategy as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
I think digital footprint is the way to go now. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if it's an e-course, if it's a video, whatever the case may be, a digital footprint, you know what I'm saying, you can do from anywhere. A lot of people are actually doing online business. You see these millennials all the time. They're in Thailand, they're in the Philippines, they're in wherever they want to be because they're on vacation. They don't trade time for dollars. You know what I'm saying? They set up a system, they set up an infrastructure, and they can make money wherever they are. So if you're going to make money wherever you are, you can go on a Europe tour, or you can go on a worldwide tour, and be able, as long as they have an internet connection, which is everywhere, as long as they have an internet connection, you will be able to manage your business. But if you don't have that, then you can still start an online business doing your 9 to 5 wherever you are. If you're in LA, you're in New York, you're in Texas, whatever the case may be, you can start an online business that is actually going to make money for you while you're doing your 9 to 5.
Right.
Like, can you imagine making an extra $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month?
Right. That would be my strategy. That would be my strategy. Work your 9 to 5, build your YouTube channel up, your blog channel, or your online business, until eventually, that's how I did with my store. Eventually, I was selling, DVDs while I was a manager at Aaron's. Yep. And then it started to the point where I was making more money than I was making at Aaron's. I let Aaron's go. So take your time to where once it can replace your income, and let that go. And then, or you could, all right, I can look at it, instead of making $10,000 here, I got a $5,000 a month business that's consistent. I can go ahead and move somewhere else where it's cheaper.
Correct.
And live the same type of lifestyle, if not better,
and still get the money. Still get that money.
And I don't have to be. All I'm doing is upload to a server.
And here's the thing, if you end up in Europe or something like that, and you end up building an online business in Europe, the euro is higher than the dollar. So by the time you're making money in Europe, you come back here and buy and do whatever the hell you want to do. Because the conversion of it, because the conversion of the actual euro versus the dollar. You're automatically
Europe's pretty high. Europe's not as bad as the United States, but Europe is still expensive to live.
Europe is still expensive, but there's some places over there, where you can still live for cheap.
Right.
And you can still be able to, it's a lot more supportive, I would say, over there, versus over here. But if you're making euro over there, and you come back to the US, the conversion of the dollar, you're getting more. You're getting more, you're making more, essentially what it is. But but at the end of the day, what it boils down to is execution, man. We can sit here and talk about strategy all day long. We can sit here and give you ideas all day long. But at the end of the day, are you sitting on it, being lazy, or are you actually putting it in place? Because when it comes to the digital footprint, you don't have to be an expert or know everything about it. It's about getting in, making mistakes, making tweaks, and then eventually, you get to the money. Right. But the ones that say, man, fuck it, I'm gonna go for it. Okay, the first business failed. Okay, I understand what I did wrong, whatever the case may be. I'm starting the second business, or I'm starting the third business, whatever the case may be. Those are the businesses that's going to end up making you 30, 40 million a year.
Right. Well, that's the old cliche, who dares wins. And who dares wins. So that, you got to take chances. I just took one, a big chance on dogs. I'm doubling down on dogs. I'm gonna play these last two rapid. I think these don't have really. They just. I think it was that short. Hold on, I got one more. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. I got one more.
The vending business is a good business. Labor intensive, but it's a great side business to have, because you have the vending machines there. You restock them. Once you restock them, you can go to your 9 to 5. You can go to your 9 to 5.
Right.
They
can do it on the weekends.
Yeah, you can do it on the weekends. Right. You refill them on the weekend.
Right.
Start. How do you know what business to buy? I have a secret formula to pick the best businesses. It's made me a lot of money. I'm going to let you steal it. It's called SOUS. Number 1, stale. Is the business stale? Does that mean limited social media, bad signage, nothing creative, use a fax machine? Number 2, it's old. The Lindy Effect says if it's existed for some time, it's likely to continue to exist. Old businesses can be hidden gems. Give me a 25-year-old company with a sign that's old school. I'm probably interested. 3's weak. Buy a business with poor competition. I can't even sign up for an appointment on my phone to get my car redone. Perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Or simple. Simple business model, aka car comes in, you hire a technician to fix it. Same problems 472 times. Simple. You don't need to revolutionize, you just need to modernize. What if you could predict how likely a business?
There you go. That's absolutely what we was talking about. You got those baby boomers that are selling a business and it's not modernized. It doesn't have a website. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the pricing of it is not transparent. Whatever the case may be, they don't run ads, they don't do anything modern. It's opportunity for you to make a shit ton of money.
Right. And don't forget, like I said, with those just like any human being, a lot of those old school baby boomers get set in their ways. You know, so they're not willing to adapt to the modern era. So what's been working in the 80s, they still trying to do the same thing now. You know, so and then a lot of them get burnt out. So you know, so sometimes you got to look in your community. If you're trying to, there's something in the space that you want, go ahead and buy it as opposed to starting from scratch, man.
Absolutely.
So this to wrap it up, I think I believe that you got to have a synergy in multiple things. I don't think you could do. I'm a master of HVAC, and then I'm gonna do ice cream cones. That's so far apart. It's a possibility, but you got to have a synergy. Like, say for example, what I do real estate and I do dogs. You know, it doesn't take away from another, and I can market and have motion in both. You know, both of them is passive income. You know, I have a female. She's gonna have pups. When I have the pups, that's when I actually sell the dogs. You know, we have the stud fees. You know, when you want to use my males, you know, you use the stud fee. So it's real simple. You know, same thing with real estate. You know, I have an investment property. You trying to rent something? Boom, here's the rental available. You know, so it keeps on. So it keeps on going. So they have a synergy with one another. I know it's two odd things, but they have a synergy. Also, I have an online business that's around that. I sell books. You know, I'm an author, so that's kind of around the podcast, and we do the vlog and we do the podcast. All that stuff is digital businesses. You know, also I'm getting as far as with the Frenchies, as far as I'm start generating leads to sell other people puppies. So it's like there's all kind of synergy in what I do already. But you got to have multiple. My thing is multiple streams. Can I master? I think I can master all of them. It's all on how much you put into it. Now, can you stretch yourself too thin? Yeah, I think if you're in the polar opposites and you trying to be the top dog in two different things, I don't think that's the approach. I think you got to have your main thing, and you the revolutionizer, you the master in one, and then the other. You're doing it to actually have that residual income. Mm-hmm. So, for example, for real estate, I don't have to be the top dog. I'm not Donald Trump of real estate. All I need is give me a little bit of piece of get a little piece of the market share. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're talking, you know, get you 10 rental houses, 10, 50 rental houses.
Yes.
And then I don't have to have Trump type money.
Yep.
But that's enough to sustain me.
I think the number one thing, you know what I'm saying, that especially our culture don't understand is leverage. You got to have leverage. Regardless of what you do, you know what I'm saying, you got to have leverage. There's many ways to make money, but you got to understand that you're looking for something where you don't have to trade time for dollars. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what business that you're in. Whatever business that you're in, you know what I'm saying, there's a way to monetize it digitally where, you know what I'm saying, you don't have to trade time for dollars. You continue your 9 to 5, and then you can also manage or set up the infrastructure for a digital business that makes you money on the actual side.
Right.
And that's the most important thing, you know what I'm saying, is that you're trying to build something from a digital standpoint to eventually you can get to a point where you can quit your job. Right. And you can just focus digitally on monetizing or managing whatever business that it is.
Right. Let me read these last couple of comments. I want to transfer HVAC to full-time real estate developer and focus on my HVAC right now. Real estate development is tough, bro. You know, you might want to ease into real estate development. You got to have a whole bunch of chain, a whole bunch of patience, a whole bunch of money, and a whole bunch of patience to develop. You know, develop. You got to actually buy land in bulk, and then you got to develop the land, meaning anchor it with businesses, and you know, it's. You can start off small. Start off with just buying a couple of rental properties, then go to apartment complex, then get a strip mall, then go from there. Then you want to get into development. That's how I'm doing it.
Here's the thing, I'm saying is that when it comes to real estate, you want to slow roll yourself in, right?
Right.
So TJ, I'm saying from your standpoint, you want to get to the point where I'm saying you start off with a couple of rehabs or whatever the case may be, and you want to build your team. That's what you want to do. That's the first thing.
Right.
You want to build your team. If I need painting, who do I go? Who do I call? If I need sheetrock, who do I call? If I need foundation, who do I call? You know what I'm saying? So you start off with these flips where you're actually managing people. If you call somebody and you're doing a flip, trust me, you don't want to be doing anything yourself. You don't want to be out there slinging a hammer and all this other stuff, because then again, you're going back to trading time for dollars.
Right.
What you want to do is you want to have a reliable company and a reliable person that you can call and say, hey, look, I'm saying I need the foundation. I think the foundation is messed up over here. Can you go check it out? Here's the lockbox code. Have them go out. You're out there looking at ACs. They're over there checking out the actual foundation or checking out the paint or countertops or whatever the case may be. And all you're doing is calling and managing those folks.
Right.
When you get to development, you can still do the HVAC. And all you're doing is managing the subcontractors to go out there and do the work. That's the only thing that you're doing. When you're doing HVAC, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're in an office where you have a person breathing over you, watching what you're doing, making sure you're doing this, that, and the third or whatever. You have the flexibility to call the AC guy and say, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Did you make it over there today? What's the deal? You know what I'm saying? Did you get it fixed? Da-da-da-da-da. All right, cool. You got it fixed? Let me get over there, you know what I'm saying, and check it out, make sure everything's good. I make sure you get paid, whatever the case may be. It becomes the management at that point. So I wouldn't say development is out of the question. I think you just have to build your team of people that you need to call or subcontractors that you trust that do a good job that you can call to go out there and do the job. And then, you know what I'm saying, the sky's the limit.
Right. Yeah, with that being said, like I said, he said investor. Yeah, that makes more sense than investor. Investor, you don't have to have that. The actual cost of entry is not that much as far as the developer. You could actually literally, I have lenders that'll give you damn near 100% finance. You get the right property. So it's like you don't have to. You got to have closing costs. You save you about. This depends on what area. You can get started probably for like $25,000, just have that to the side and you can start getting your first property, sometimes less than that, so this depends, but I would have me 25 set to the side and then get your first property and then go from there and you can fix and flip.
And do whatever, you know what I'm saying? TJ, you can do it. I'm telling you can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's all about when people go into flips or they go into rentals or whatever the case may be, a lot of people want to kind of try to cut corners because they want to do stuff themselves. You could probably do the HVAC. You ain't got to worry about that. Okay, cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can get to that on the weekends, whatever the case may be. But anything else, the biggest thing is time. Mm-hmm. Time is money. You know what I'm saying? So especially when it comes to a lot of this financing, time is money. So all you want to do is make sure that you subcontracting and finding great subcontractors that can do a lot of the work. Because while you're at work, they're doing work and getting stuff done. Therefore, you can actually sell or you can actually rent the property out in a time fashion, in a timely fashion, to where, you know what I'm saying, you can actually make money. You're not eaten up by the interest of the loan that you're actually getting in order to do it.
Right. So with that being said, man, my conclusion, you gotta master. You can master one thing, but have your hands in a bunch of things. And at this, especially the way inflation going, this depends on the outcome of this election. You need to have more than one stream of revenue. It's just where it's going. You got to. With that being said, man, we're gonna see y'all next week, man. We're not gonna keep y'all too long, man. We actually, right about a little bit over an hour. So
yeah.
We'll see y'all next week.
Look,
Peace.
Y'all need financing, hit us up.
I mean, You really try to get an investment. I don't know if I think you're in the Midwest, but I could take the app, but I'm gonna have to refer it out. But I'm licensed in Illinois, but I'm not Indiana. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, peace.